What's going on YouTube? KevonMoore here, back in another little video. I wanted to get on here and talk about driver stamina. Alright, what's the best way to start your shift? What's the best way to have the momentum, have the energy, have the complete stamina in order to run heavy? Because when I start driving, I usually don't stop. You feel me? I just be hitting the miles, I be hitting the road like whoop. But on a serious note, here's what I do. Here's what works for me. You can do it if you choose to, but everyone's different, right? So when I start my drive shift, it usually starts with a pre-trip, or it's supposed to start with a pre-trip. No, you definitely want a pre-trip. But pre-trip, right? Make sure everything is working. Your lights, your signals, your horn, your wipers. Make sure that your load is secure, because I'm flatbed now, of course. Start your pre-trip. You jump on the road. You have 14 hours within a day. Out of the 14 hours, you are allowed to drive 11. And then you have to shut it down, rest area, truck stop, depending on who you work for, your carrier, and all these things. It could be a Walmart, could be a Home Depot, right? So what I do is, after a pre-trip, and I hit the road, I just don't fucking stop. Point blank period. I just don't stop. I'm not fascinated by the scenery of the different truck stops, by the rest areas. I just keep going. The only time I have to stop necessarily is when I personally have to piss. And sometimes I'm learning now, like, yo, just have something in there, you know what I mean? Just let it out real quick, bang, 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 hit the road. You feel me? But how do you build that up? How do you build that up? For me, it just came natural. It just came natural. You feel me? But what I can suggest, what I do suggest is this. You have to take a half an hour break between like your first 3 or 4 hours in. If you have, I believe it's about 4 hours. You can take your half an hour break whenever you want to take it, but if you take it at least 4 hours in, your clock is going to reset. You'll have more hours of drive time. You feel me? Because if you're only able to drive 11 hours, after 4 hours, you'll have what? 11 take away 4. You do the math. I don't feel like doing the math. But it's 7. I have 7 hours left. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, you have 7 hours of drive time left, right? So maybe after the first 4 hours, as long as you can go nonstop and hit the road and hit the road and hit the road, if you start to feel your eyes like get a little bit heavy, shut it down. What I mean by shut it down is literally just take your 30 minutes after 4 hours. You can do other things as well. Like if you really need to, you can take a power nap, set your alarm for maybe 45 minutes. I would say the most an hour. But you want to get into a habit of keep going, and keep going. The only time you really want to stop is if you have to fuel. You have to take your your 30-minute break, or you're just dirt fucking tired. Like, you feel me? Like, unless you're just so exhausted where like you just can't drive anymore, it's unsafe, then I advise you to just shut it down. Let your dispatch know, or whatever the case may be. But you also want to have, I would say, good habits or healthy habits prior to doing that. So for example, are you actually getting at least 8 hours of sleep? Because the ironic thing about driving is that when you're driving, you feel fucking tired until you actually stop driving, and then you have a fuckload of energy. You feel me? You have a ton of energy. Like, it's happened to me several times where like I'm driving and like I'm like 8 hours in, 9 hours into my actual shift, and I'm like tired. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pull over because, you know what I mean, I'm early or whatever the case is. And the load, it doesn't have to be there for like another few hours or so, or maybe tomorrow or some shit like that. But I'm just super early, right? And then as I'm tired while I'm driving, when I actually pull over to stop to take my rest, You just, I don't know where the burst of energy comes from, but like now I'm like, okay, let's go get something to eat, and then after you get something to eat, it's like, oh, like your girl calls you, or or your kid calls you, or your family calls you, and your friends call you, and then you have this burst of energy that's like, yo, where did the fuck did this come from? You feel me? So are you actually getting proper rest, adequate rest? You're supposed to get at least what, 8 to 10 hours, even if you have like an hour or two max after you shut it down. Try to get at least a full 8 hours worth of rest. That way, when it's time to hit the road again, you're well rested. Your 10 hours up. You do your pre-trip and you go. But you want to take small breaks, minor breaks in between if you're that tired. You feel me? You want to build up the stamina. You want to build up the endurance. You want to build up that capacity to just keep going, hit the road and just go. You feel me? All the flying J's, they damn near look the same. Some are bigger than others. All the pilots, they damn near look the same. Some are bigger than others. All the loves, they're all the same. Some are bigger than others. You feel me? If you want to sightsee, I would suggest that you either ask your DM or sightsee at a state that you haven't seen before, and like like take your home time there. So if you really want to go to like California and you never went, and you've been out on a road for 3-4 weeks at a time, and your home time is coming up, you feel me, and you don't have much responsibility back at the damn crib, tell your DM, hey, see if you could route me to Cali or whatever state that you really want to see. See if they can route you there, and then as long as you've been running hard and you've been making him or her money, because you get your loads there on time, you're never late, you're doing your own thing. Sightsee then, when you're actually shut down, when you have the opportunity to have 3 or 4 days in a different state that you haven't seen. You feel me? Do something, man. Get a mug, a T-shirt, something that says I've been to this state before. Because what you want to do too is like you want to make this job kind of an adventure. You feel me? Because you're also being paid to travel. You're being paid to see the country. So take full advantage of it. You feel me? But as far as driver stamina, you want to build up the endurance if you don't have it, if it doesn't come natural. You want to take minor breaks in between. You want to, just get adequate rest. You want to make sure that you're not eating, like, don't even overeat neither. Like, don't overeat. Get something to snack on. That way you have some energy. But if you're taking like your 30 and you go to like, let's just say like I'm at a Flying J right now, right? Let's just say you get mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, potato wedges, a corn dog, 2 slices of pizza, and all this shit. That's gonna weigh you down. That's gonna make you feel tired. It's gonna make you catch the itis. You feel me? Eat something extremely light. Get a granola bar. Get a Subway sandwich, a 6 inch. You don't have to cop a foot long. You feel me? Grab some water. Do something, but put some type of substance in your stomach so you have a little bit more energy, but you don't want to overfeed yourself as well. You feel me? You want to have enough energy that's going to sustain you while you're out there on the road. You feel me? And just take it little by little. You feel me? And like track your progress as well. So for a week, say, okay, this whole week I'm gonna drive 4 hours straight or 3 hours straight, and I'm not gonna stop. And then the next week you drive 4 hours straight, and you're not going to stop. And then the week after you drive 5 hours straight, you're not gonna stop. And then the next week you'll drive 6 hours straight, and you're not gonna stop. And slowly but gradually, you will build your stamina up. You will build your endurance up, and it'll become easier and easier and easier every single time. Okay, so those are my suggestions about things that you can do to try to increase your driver stamina, increase your endurance, as long as you track it, because only you know when you start to feel tired. Also, do things like listen to an audiobook, or play some music, or if you're interested in something, like play a podcast, like on a subject that you're the most interested in, so that way while you're driving you're actually doing something, you're learning something, and like it feels as if you just started, if that makes any sense. Now mind you, you've been down on the road 4 or 5 hours and you're like, oh shit, like I'm growing, I'm getting better. because eventually your eyes will get heavy, and eventually you will get tired and you will be fatigued. But you can build up stamina to just haul ass down the road. Okay, so like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are a driver, let me know what you do in the comments below, and if you have any tricks, tips, or anything to help anybody else out. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at KevonMoore. All right, one love, y'all. Bless.